Hello, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you're watching from. I want to believe you're all from different time zones. Sorry, apologies for the delay in communication, and we've delayed in starting our event, but we're here and that's what matters, and we're going to start. So this evening, welcome back to She Code event series, and this evening we are privileged to have Folus that will be taking us through transitioning into product development. Yeah, so I wouldn't want to say much, just to welcome you to the event. Feel free to ask questions if you have if you have questions. During the course of the talk, you could always post them on the comment section, and then we'll address them as the speaker when the speaker finishes with his presentation. So I'll add Folus right now. So he's going to introduce himself, and then he will take us through the event. Um, Hi, Foluso. Good evening.
Um, Hello, good evening, Tavi, and good evening, everyone.
Yeah, we are so glad to have you here. Thank you so much for taking time to speak at our event.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
privilege.
So like I said, you're gonna introduce yourself and then you can just, the floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you very much, Tavi. Good evening and good day to everyone, wherever you are. My name is Felicia Ayodele, and I'll be speaking about transitioning into product management this evening. Um, the event, it's going to be an interesting one, and apologies again for delaying. But then we'll just go into it and then see what we have. So before we dive deep into what we have for tonight, transitioning into product management, I just want to give a little bit of introduction of myself. So my name is Felicia Ayodele, and I'm a product manager, and I'm also a product mentor or coach at productshire.com. I love building products, and I am a community person. So that is like basically all about me. Before I go into the details of the talk that we have for tonight, I just want to share my story of how I got into product management, of how I started in it, and how the journey has been so far. I got into product management about a year ago, and before that, I've been developing. I used to code in PHP. I started coding at a very young age. I started around the age of 12 with C++ and all of that. And then after some months of writing C++, then I moved into front-end web development, the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I did that for quite a while before learning PHP. I learned it then with a friend, and we built a lot of projects then together. But then along the way, as we continued in coding and development and all of that, fight with like I was kind of struggling with it. It was like I was struggling with it, and then I did not want that for myself. But eventually, I just continued with it, and then later I co-founded a startup, and when I co-founded a startup, I was still coding at that time. But then after going through some months, and then we weren't able to do anything, kind of substantial. So I decided to kind of go on a journey to look into myself and look into what tech has to offer, and then see what I can get from tech. And then I began to read books and began to look into all the different career paths in tech. And then I came across project management. And then when I came across project management, it was quite interesting. I took courses on it and I started learning about it. It was really interesting, but then as I went deeper into project management, I sort of came across product management. And my first thinking was, oh, they both are just, kind of the same thing. And then, so I was calling myself both a project manager and a product manager interchangeably. So today I'll say, oh, I'm a project manager, and then when I meet someone else, I'll be like, I'm a product manager. I continued with this change and all of that until eventually I came across an article that really showed me the light of product management. And then I started looking into it. I took a few courses on project management, on product management. I started reading articles on product management. I was watching videos and I began to to fall in love with it. And as I continued with it, I started doing one or two little things in product management, and today I'm practicing product management. The story so far is from the way I share what I learn about and all of that on Twitter. I got invited to be a product mentor and a product coach at Product IAD. I'd been a part of the Product IAD community for quite a while, but then the founder somehow got across my tweet on Twitter, and then he got into my DM and invited me to be a product coach. And I've been working and helping my friends and everyone around me, just try to set their product right and try to build something great. So that was how I got into product management for me. And I have learned a lot of things in this journey through. And then that some of those learnings are what I'm here to share with you today. So continuing, the kind of people that I am going to be talking to this evening, or that I expect that you are. One, you're someone who is looking at transitioning into product management. You kind of have the interest, but then you don't, probably know how to get into it, or you just got into product management, or if you're just a kind of lover of products and the product field. So if you fall into these three categories, I'm sure that there's something in here for you this evening. Now, my goal for the talk. My goal for the talk is to let you know about product management. To give you an insight on what product management is, who a product manager is, and what the kind of job that a product manager does. And then I'm also here to talk about the myth about product management. What are some of the common misconceptions about product management? And then the skills and the qualities that you need to acquire to work as a product manager. And then I'll be talking about how you can get started in it and how you can get a job in product management. As we go into the talk, the first thing that I want you to know and to keep in mind is anyone can get into product management. So don't let anyone tell you you cannot get into product management because you're not in tech, or because you're doing something really far from it. Anyone can get into product management. I've come across a lot of people from different career paths that are getting into product management. I have a friend who is a doctor, and then she's getting into product management already. I have a friend who studied economics, and then is a great product manager already. And I also even have a friend who studied aquaculture and fishery in school, and she's taking a course in product management already, and like she's into it. So anyone can get into product management once you learn what it's about and what it takes to be a great product manager. You can, get into it and do well in it. So now, what is product management? I've been saying product management, product management, but then what is product management? I think this question is a really interesting one, and it has a lot of answers. If you really search through the internet, I'm sure you find over 50 different definitions. You meet different people with different definitions of what product management is about. So the goal, um while getting an answer for this kind of question, is to look deep and know your own definition of product management. However, I'll be sharing some generally accepted definitions of product management. But then before we know what product management is about, we need to know what a product is, just to clear the air. So a product is anything that can be offered to a market to satisfy a desire or need of a customer. Anything you can take out to the market, anything you can offer to someone, and the person, will take it from you and possibly pay for it, is a product. And products can be physical or they can be virtual and digital. So from the laptop that you're using right now, or to the phone, or to YouTube, that's it's a virtual product. They are all products. And the word product, can be generally used in every other aspect or area of life, but then we'll be limiting our use of product and all of that to technology, to tech. So when I mention product, just think about the tech product, whether hardware or software. So just to clear the air on that. And then now, what is product management? I got this really interesting definition of product management from a product director that I've interacted with, and with over 10 years of experience. So he's a product leader. And then when he gave this definition and I took some time to reflect on it, I saw that the definition is one really, really powerful. So the art of building the right products for the right market in the right manner for the right reasons to solve the right problems at the right time. That is product management. One thing that I want you to observe is, if you can see my screen right now, you'll see that I have some words that are underlined: right product, right market, right manner, the right reasons, right problems at the right time. If we have right for every one of them, then you would agree with me that we can have the wrong for every one of them. Building the right product. Building the right product, it depends. The other factor in the right product. The right product has to go to the right market. You can be building a product, but then you are taking it into the wrong market. Imagine building a TikTok and then you're building it for people of the older generation. While TikTok or Snapchat, would be a very, very useful product, it could be for the, if not planned right, you could take it into the wrong market. So product management is about finding out what market is right and taking it there in the right manner. The right manner is, talking more about what is technically possible, building it in the right manner. Oh, this kind of product is going to allow videos and all of that. You want to ensure that your servers are up and are strong and all of that, so that when people are using your product and then they're having glitches and bugs and all of that. So that's about getting it in the right manner, and then for the right reason. There are reasons why we build products. If you're building a product based on a wrong reason, then the product is going to be wrong, and of course, that is no longer product management. For the right problems at the right time, we have right problems and we have wrong problems. I tell you, we have so many problems, that we face on a day-to-day basis. But then you don't just want to look at any problem at the surface and then um, try to provide a solution to it. We have right problems that should be solved, and then we also have some problems that, for some reason, you may not be able to solve at a particular time, and then at the right time. Products is about timing. If you take out a product at the right time, then it's not just going to work out well. So putting all these right things together, the right product for the right market in the right manner to solve the right problem at the right time, that's what we can call product management. So when you get all this right, then we can say, oh yeah, you're ready to manage a product. Now, another definition I have here is product management. It's a role at the heart of an organization that seeks to balance the need to deliver value to a company, usually profit, with what the customers want and what is technically accurate. and operationally possible. So product management, as said here, is at the heart of an organization, meaning it is a kind of role that stands at the center of an organization. It is not just something left at one side or at one department that is hidden. Product management, tries to connect from the business part of the business to the tech and then to the design. So product management is at the heart of an organization, and then it's about balancing. And then what do we have to balance here? We have three things to balance here: the need to deliver value to the company, the um why we build businesses and all of that. The aim of building businesses is to get profit at the end of it. So product management is a role that helps to bring back money into a company and then helps to deliver value to customers, to give customers what they want, and also merges that with what is technically and operationally possible, what is achievable or what is possible in technology. I have a diagram here, that kind of throws more light on the definition. So if you see that green portion, you see that it's at the middle of the three circles, and then the same way product management is at the center, is at the heart of every organization, and then it helps to balance or bring together the business part of a business, the business part of a company that helps to make money, the tech part, you're talking about the engineers and all of that, and then also the UX, the user experience, the designers, and all of that. So product management is a career path that stands in the middle of every one of them. More insight and bringing it in one. It's a process that focuses on bringing in a new product to market. You're bringing in a new product, to the market, a product that may have not been seen in a particular market. So the process of bringing it in is product management. There's many things that are done while trying to bring it in, but then that's product management or developing an existing one. We have so many products that we use today, and product management is the process that helps us to continue using this product. When you check your phone for applications, at times you get messages to update a particular app and all of that. It's about development, and those developments most of the time is channeled by product management, to give you better features to solve your problem, to give you better updates and all of that. So that is kind of what product management is all about, or a kind of definition of product management. To get more insights on product management, I wrote an article sometimes ago on that answered the question, what is product management. I'll be sharing this slide after the whole talk, so you can get the link and then spend some time reading that article. Now we've talked about product management and all of that, and then by inference or intuitively, you can say that a person who does product management is a product manager. And now, who is a product manager? Who is a product manager? So let's look at some definitions of who a product manager is. So according to Atlassian.com, a a product manager is a person who identifies the customer need and the larger business objective that a product or a feature will fulfill, and then articulate what success look like for the product and rally a team to turn that vision into reality. I underlined some key points, some major points that will help you, to get out the major point from this whole definition. A product manager is someone who identifies the customer need. Every product manager, at the heart of every product manager, is the desire to solve problems. So a product manager is someone who can look into a market and then look at a segment of customers and then say, oh, what are their problems, what do they need, what do they want, what are the things that we can help them with. So a product manager is someone who can look at that, and then of course a product manager is working with a company or in a company, and then the product manager can also look at the business objective. What is this business or this company looking at achieving in the next 5 months, in the next 6 months, and all of that? And then what kind of profit are we looking at? And then the product manager is able to look at the customer need, kind of ideate a product, come up with a product around that customer need, and then also tie it or connect it to a business objective, to whatever goal the business has set, and then articulate what is, the success would look like. He or she can pinpoint it. When do we say this particular product is successful? Is it when we have 1,000 customers? Is it when we have a million? Is it when we have 10,000? Or is it when we have this particular number of messages sent on the platform? What's the success of that product to look like? A product manager is someone who can articulate it, who can get it stated out clearly, and then rally a team to turn that vision into reality. Till this particular point, all the product manager has been doing, has just been looking at it in form of a vision, looks at a customer, and then okay, knows that this particular person wants to keep in contact with his friends or his family in other countries. It's just a vision, just an idea. We don't have anything solid on ground yet. And then the PM also looks at the business objective. Oh, at the end of this year, we want to, have moved our monthly recurring revenue to like say 200% higher and all of that. That's just a vision. We don't have that in reality yet. And then what the success of the product to look like is also a kind of vision. It's not something that has been cleared out yet. But then a product manager is now someone who can bring people together and then share that vision with them and then carry them on through to taking that vision into reality by building it out and designing and all of that. Like just getting the product into an actual reality that people can use and people can interact with. Another simple definition that I love about who a product manager is. A product manager is someone who manages the process of building the right product and building it right. I think this definition is something really, really simple. Managing the process of building the right product. Remember when we defined product management, we said it's managing the process of building the right product. And then we said it's connected. To able to identify and say, oh, for this particular customer segment, this will be the product that is appropriate for them. For teenagers, like say from 15 years old to like say 29, this kind of product will be the right thing for them. For this kind of product will be the right thing for them. And then UI look great, making the product work without bugs and all of that. So that is who a product manager is. And then finally, the third definition by my friend Ija, it says a product manager is one that caters for the development, the launch, and the growth of a product. A PM is someone who caters, who looks after, who kind of oversees or organizes the development of a product, the launch of that product, and then the growth of a product. From all the definitions that I've given so far, you might have been able to connect the dot and see that product management is a continuous process. It isn't something that we just do today and then that is the end of it. Product management is something really, really continuous, something that never ends. So far, a product is existing, there is still something that can be improved about it. There is something that can be better about it. So now we have looked at the definitions of a product manager, and then you're looking already, oh, okay, so I know that this is who a product manager is and all of that. But then now want to connect the product manager scenario to other real life scenarios that you are more familiar with so that it will help you connect more dots. Want to look at some other job careers and pick out the product manager kind of guy out of it. So one as a product manager, you are the janitor. You are the janitor. So if you know who a janitor is someone who gets shit done, who does all the dirty work, cleaning the floor, cleaning offices, and sometimes running errand, just basically ensuring that everyone can work effectively. If you are looking at getting into product management, then you must wear this janitor kind of personality. You are willing and you are ready to do everything and anything to ensure that your team can work effectively. You're ready to get the shit done. You're ready to do all the dirty work. Or who needs to maybe like buy meal for the team. As a PM, it is your job to do that. Or something poured on the floor, who's going to clean it? The developers, they are coding already, and then the designers are working. Your job as a PM at that particular point in time is to just get it done. Oh, your engineer calls you and say, "Oh, I'm hungry," and all of that. As a PM, it's your job to get him food. So I really hope that is clear. So the job of a PM, can be similar to that of a janitor, getting shit done. Um, as a C, as a product manager, you are also a CEO. You're also a CEO. I put it there, yes, but without the authority. Before I go into how a product manager can be seen as a CEO, I like to emphasize that you can, and you would act as CEO of your team, but without the authority. Normally, we know the CEO to be that person who is the highest ranking executive in the company and who has the authority, who can fire and employ, who can say no one should do that and then no one does it and all of that. But then the CEO has authority. As a product manager, you do not have any authority. As a product manager, you do not have any authority over your team. We'll talk more about that when we get to later slides. But then, from what you can see on the screen, and CEO, you represent your team, to talk to other executive and stakeholders in the company. For example, when your team needs to present something to stakeholders or shareholders in your company, as a PM, you'll be the one to represent the team. You set goals and then you work up a structure to achieve those goals, and then you craft out the vision of the team, and then you lead everyone to follow that vision and to bring it into reality. So your job can be similar to that of a CEO. As a PM, you are also a coach. Yeah, if you watch football and then you see coaches and all of that, you are there's one thing that you observe and all of that, and which I pointed out in number 2 here. As a product manager, you are a coach. You are leading the team. You're directing them. You are involved in the whole game, but then you are not directly involved. Most of the time, you're not the front line of the game. When the footballers are going up to the pitch, the coach just waits there by the side and by the sideline and as a coach and as a PM, you motivate the team and keep everyone's energy high. Surely in product management, there are going to be low times, there are going to be times when it looked as it looks as if the team did not meet the goal and all of that. And then as a PM, you are going to be there to motivate the team and to like let the team know that there are better things to come and all of that. And also you're going to chart the course to success and lead your team through it. You're going to establish and clearly define what success rate is like for your team. Or when we have this particular number of users, or when we have this particular number of revenue coming in, we can call that our success. So you're going to get that clearly stated out and lead your team, through it. As a PM, we can liken you to a hammer. You are the persuader. If you watch when someone, or if you've ever used a hammer before, and you see when hammer is being used to drive a nail into the wood, the hammer, just goes through and is able to hit the nail through until it gets down enough. As a PM, you want to be that kind of person who can persuade people to get things done. You want to be that kind of person who can talk to people and then persuade them to do whatever you need them to do for the good of the product. And also you'll be able to provide the necessary touch that will move everyone into execution. When you need to be soft with them, then you need to come down to that level where you need to be soft. when you need to be strict and like really get some things clear and straight. As a PM, you want to be able to do that and leaving emotions out of the game. As a PM also, you are going to be a super user. Remember, here you're working on products, you are building products, you are managing them. So you want to be that super user of your product. You want to be the one who is on that product at 2 a.m., in the morning when everyone is sleeping. You want to be the one still on that product at 9 p.m. when everyone is leaving and going back home. You want to be the first person, the last, and the everlasting user of that product. When you do that, it helps you to gain better insights on how the product can be better. As a super user, you know everything about it, and then you can lead anyone through it. Not that maybe you meet someone and someone is asking about your product, and then you're like, oh, when was that feature added? No, no, no. You don't want to be the kind of person. You want to be the kind of person who knows in and out of that product that you're working on as a PM. And also as a PM, you are a customer friendly person. You're a customer friendly person. You are able to get down with customers and talk to them and really get actionable insights and feedback from them. You want to be the kind of person that can talk to people and really get a deep sense of understanding so that you can know what their true needs are, you can know what they truly desire. As a PM, you need to be that kind of person and you want to be that kind of person as a product manager. And then as a PM, we can also liken you to an architect. You are able to plan and design and oversee the development of the product. You are able to manage people. You are able to articulate the beautiful ideas in your head, and then you want to be able to bring them down into wireframes and documents that your team can make use of, that your team can see. As people and as product managers, ideas are going to come. But then it's not just about sitting people down for 2 hours to explain the whole idea to them, but you want to be able to clearly communicate these ideas in form of diagrams or in form of wireflows. You want to be able to put it down so that people can get a deeper insight of that idea that you have in your head. And as a PM, we can also call you a salesman. Remember, this is your product that you're working on. This is a product that you manage. So you want to be able to sell that product. You want to be able to clearly tell people how that product will impact them. Not that someone debates you and say, "Oh, this product is not going to impact me," and all of that. And then as a PM, you cannot defend your reason why you think your product would be able to, help that person. You are tenacious, and then you do anything you can to get a customer to buy a product. If you need to get to their houses, if you need to get anywhere, but you just want to be that kind of person who can go hard and let people buy into your idea and into your product. That's who a PM is. And also, you want to be the journalist kind of person. You want to be the journalist kind of person. You want to tell stories. You want to tell the right stories to people. When you are bringing ideas from your head and you're trying to explain it to your teammate and all of that, at times you understand this idea, explain your own head, but then bringing it out at times you need a skill of storytelling to be able to directly give it out to people so that they can hear it and then they can kind of understand that uh story or idea that you're trying to get out to them. And also as a PM, you're someone who is bold enough to ask questions. You want to ask questions, you want to challenge opinions, you want to debate when you are supposed to, and then you're also someone analytical, and then you're a critical thinker. You're someone that can really look deep into a problem and then you can break it down and write about it, present it in a way that your team would understand and your team would enjoy it. And finally, who you are as a PM, you want to be a chameleon. You want to be a chameleon. You want to be able to blend with everyone and blend with everything. As a PM, like I mentioned earlier and like I showed you in that diagram, you'll be working with the business part of the company, you'll be working with the tech part of the company, and you're also working with the user experience part of the company. If you're going to be working with engineers, with people who code and all of that. You want to be able to also talk to them, in tech languages. You want to use some of the terminologies. You want to, talk about the language. You want to be clear with them, and so that they don't have to be explaining every little thing, every little detail to you. So you want to acquire some, kind of technical knowledge if you don't, have, and then so that you can be able to talk directly with the engineers, and then you can understand things instantly when they talk to you. You also want to be a designer kind of person who understands design principle, who knows when a design is good, when it needs adjustment, and you want to be able to clearly communicate with designers and share your ideas with them in a way that they understand. And also remember, you be relating or talking to the business part of the company. So you want to be able to talk to those at the financial end and those at the sales end, those at the marketing end. You want to know some of that terminology so that you can relate easily with them, so that you can talk to them and then they can understand you. All that we've mentioned, from journalist to chameleon to coach and all of that, these are skills, these are things that kind of defines a product manager. All these skills and all that has been mentioned are things that you want to acquire if you don't have, or you want to build them up, as it will really help you grow and do better as a product manager. And then now we want to go into the flavors of product managers, the flavors of product managers. So for flavors of product managers, we have different types of product managers. The whole PM and product management, yeah, it's just one. But then in that one, we have some divisions of people according to their kind of strength. We have some divisions of people according to their strength. So I'm going to itemize them. I'm going to list them now, and then you want to identify the kind of person you easily connect with. One, you want to identify the kind of PM that you are, so that you can grow and you can work on it, to become better at it. One, so that you can have specialized skills in it. One, and then two, you want to know the kind of flavor of product manager that you are, so that you can know where you are lacking and then know how to be better at that particular stage. So the first kind of flavor of product manager that we have is the technical or the platform product manager. The technical or the platform product manager. The technical or platform product manager is the engineer kind of person, and this kind of PM usually has an engineering background. I happen to have a little bit of this technical um, flavor in me, because before I transitioned into product management, I was an engineer. I used to code PHP and front end basics. So this kind of people usually are from engineering backgrounds. Usually they have either a computer science or any other related degree, or they have actually been involved in actual coding. So they are usually curious about new technologies, and then when addressing problems, they want to look at it from the technical point of view. They usually very analytical, and then you just see them kind of planning out the logic of those stuff in their head. So that is the technical kind of person. The next person we want to look at, the next flavor we want to look at is the business oriented product manager. So the business oriented product manager is the kind of product manager who is more of a sales kind of person. He or she, usually has a business background. I, you know, they have a business background, and then they have a high level understanding of what drives sales. They are more inclined, if you find them more often talking to other business departments in a company, with sales, with marketing, and all of that. So that is another flavor of product managers. And then we have the designer oriented product manager. So this is the designer kind of person who usually has a design background, say as an interface designer or a UX developer or a UX person. And then this kind of person is um, obsessed about making the interface look very clean and simple and perfect. This is the kind of product manager that you see very very noted, very very closely seated with the designers, always looking at designs, and then they want to see the way to improve everything you can see. They pay attention to little details. They make sure that every pixel showing on your product screen is perfect. So that is the design oriented flavor or kind of PM. And then we have the data scientist PM. This kind of person is the data and dashboard kind of person who is always looking for data before he or she takes any step or he or she does anything. They want to look for data to back it up. If you're coming to a data and dashboard PM and then you say, let's do this, he or she is asking, why should we do that? Do we have data that would show us the way and let us know um, that that is what we should do and all of that? So he or she usually has a quantitative background as a data analyst or a business analyst or a data scientist. Before making any decision, they want to look at their data and then so that they can make data informed decisions. And then we also have the customer whisperer PM. So this kind of person is the person who loves the customer, who is a real advocate of the customer, who is always talking about the customer. When you meet this kind of PM and you say, "Oh, let's do this," he or she is asking a question like, "Are you sure the customer is going to like that kind of thing, or do you think the customer would love that kind of thing?" This kind of PM is always out talking to customers, trying to understand them deeply to know what they want. So those are the flavors of PMs that we have. So I believe now, as I was speaking, you've checked yourself, and then you kind of know the kind of product manager or the kind of flavor of product manager that you are. I want to make something really clear that every product manager, every good product manager would have or should have all of those flavors. Every product manager should look into data before taking any decision. Every product manager should ensure that the interface is clean and is well done. Every PM should be able to talk to engineers and relate with them in a way that they understand. And every PM should be that kind of data scientist kind of person, should be business oriented and all of that. Every PM should strive and try to be, to have the four kind of flavors. Although you just want to look in deeply to know the kind of person that you are so that you can build on it. So that you can build on it. Why should you build on it? There are organizations now that kind of look into specialized product managers. For example, the technical or platform product manager, companies like Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon, the big tech companies that they work with big tech and all of that, they usually require their product managers to be to be technical, to have technical background, whether by taking a course or has been involved in some kind of coding and all of that. So that's just an example. But as a PM, you want to do your best to balance and have at least like 20% of make up all the different flavors. You want to look into data. You want to be the kind of person who cares about the customers. You want to really go to them. You want to ensure that your interface is really clean and all of that. So every PM should have the fire of them. But then it's always good to just know your strengths and know the kind of product manager that you are. So my question to you now is, what kind of PM are you, or do you think you are closer to? You can type your reply in the chat section. Now let's go to what exactly a product manager you know does, what exactly a product manager would do. I merged it all into this particular sentence. A product manager helps the team and the company ship the right product to the user. Product now, if we're to break it down, we can say a product manager helps the team one, a product manager helps the company two, a product manager ships. When I talk about ship, I'm talking about moving our product. I'm talking about taking products out. A product manager ships the right product. That's four, and then the product manager ships the right product to the user. So now let's just break them down and look into the details. How does a product manager help a team? How does a product manager help a company? How does a product manager ship? How does a product manager ship the right products? And how does a product manager ship the right products to the users? When you talk about helping the team, remember that we've listed, some kind of career paths that kind of relates to a product manager. So now, and one of the things we listed there was the janitor kind of person, and he talked about helping the team. So majorly a product manager as a PM, you're there to help your team. You're there to help your team plan the product. You're there to properly communicate with your team. There to properly communicate with your team. Remember that you are the one planning the products. You are the one, who has gone to the customers, who understands everything about the product well and all of that. So you want to be a great communicator. You want to communicate properly. You want to communicate well to your team so that they understand everything that you're trying to say, and then so that they can do their part well. A product manager, helps the team with prioritization. When we build products, when we want to build a product, there's so many things to do. There's so many pages to work on, so many features to work on. There's so many things that we need to get ready, whether pre-launch or post-launch, while we are launching. There's so many things to be done when it comes to building a product. So as a product manager, you want to help your team ruthlessly prioritize all everything that needs to be done. You want to say, okay, for this week, these are the most important things that we can do. So let's get them done. And then you want to help your team to plan strategies and then articulate the vision and carry your team along. You want to plan strategies. The strategies are not just for you, they are for the team. They are, the strategy is the way the team is going to build the product and allow that product be something useful and good. So you want to plan it and then articulate it properly to the team. You want to be able to pitch your vision to the team clearly so that they can understand it and then they can buy into that vision so that they can work along with you. And then helping your team also involves understanding your team deeply and making them happy. So once in a while, you may need to get them pizzas. You need to get them drinks. Just for everyone to enjoy and be happy. Sometimes you just want to call out team hangout so that everyone goes out and then really enjoys themselves. You don't want it to be a kind of PM developer or PM designer relationship that you only talk about work and all of that. You want to understand them on a personal note. When you understand people like that, you're able to help them. You're able to communicate well with them, and then they're able to understand you and also help you, achieve the vision and bring the vision into reality. How does the PM help the company? The PM helps the company by first knowing the company goals and objective business wise, knowing okay, this is where the company wants to be financially, this is where the company is looking to be and all of that. So you want to understand these things deeply so that when you're coming up with products, with strategies, with visions, you're able to incorporate the company perspective into it. Not just that yourself and your team are at one side, then just doing whatever you want to do, but then you want to carry the company along, and then you want to carry stakeholders along in whatever you're doing, in whatever you're working on, and then you want to present information backed with data. Emphasis on that, present information backed with data. When you get into product management, and then you're trying to explain things to high level executives and all of that, you need to show them the data so that you help them understand things well so that they can make decisions that would help yourself and help your team. So that is about helping the company. And then we talked about shipping. So as a product manager, you need to ship, you need to ship. As a product manager, you should know, or you have to know that what defines your success as a product manager, it's the product that you ship. So as a product manager, you don't want to be the kind of person who builds forever. You don't want to be that kind of person who build forever. You want to be the kind of PM who wants to build, get things out, and then allow people use it and all of that. And also, when it comes to shipping, you want to be a get shit done kind of PM. You don't want to be the kind of PM that delegates all the tasks to everyone. Some things that I just want to look at and say, oh, yeah, I can handle this. Is it this SQL? You want to quickly run on that. Is it wireframes? You don't want to push everything to the design. Is it about coming up with blog posts when you want to launch? You don't need to push it to marketing or to sales. Some if it's something that you can do and just to get things done faster. You want to be that kind of get shit done kind of PM. Remember, we listed so many things that a PM is. So you want to acquire those skills so that at any time you are not just delegating everything that is there to be done. You want to get your hands down and also get involved in the whole game. And then as a PM, you want to ship the right product. Shipping the right product, you need to make qualitative market research. You need to know what the market is about. You need to know in and out of the market if you're going to deliver the right product to that market. And also you want to go after product market fit. Product market fit is like the need for your product in the market. Product market fit is the need for your product in the market. So you want to set important metrics that will help you to know when your product is being accepted, it's being adopted in the market. You want to just basically learn everything there to be learned about the market, and then so you can put those learnings into your product and then come up with a great product. And then finally, you want to help to ship the right products to the users. If you're going to ship the right products to the users, then you need to understand them deeply. You need to know them. You need to understand every tiny detail and every bit of detail about the people you want to deliver a product to. And by this, you need to empathize them. You need to kind of connect to their minds to know what they think, what they feel, what they hear, and all of that. So as a PM, you want to get really involved with your customers. You want to be able to listen and get feedback from your customers. You don't want to be the kind of PM that goes to go and to meet a customer, and then instead of listening to the customer, you're just there pitching your product all day long. No, you want to be the kind of person who goes to the customer and then ask them questions, try to dig deep into their minds so that they can talk and tell you about what their pains really are. So that is about what a product manager does. Shipping, helping the team, and the company that people carry about in product management. So we just want to quickly bust them and then also get ourselves aware of the reality, what is actually true. So that when someone comes up to you and tells you something that is not correct, you are able to discern and know whether it is correct or not. One of the things that you may hear out there is to be a product manager, you need a CS degree or a technical background, or you need to know how to code. That is not totally true. That is not totally true. You don't need a computer science or related degrees to get into product management. You do not need it. You do not need a technical background to get into product management. Remember at the beginning when I said anyone can transition, doctors, lawyers, anyone can come into product management. So to get into it, you do not need it. And then you do not need to know how to code. You don't need to know how to code before you transition into product management. However, we need to know the truth and like the facts about this. Like I said, it's not a requirement. It's not something compulsory. If you don't know how to code, get into product management, learn the fundamentals, and then we'll go ahead. Two, some companies require it. Remember when I shared about the flavors of PM and I mentioned about the technical PM. So the technical PM should know how to code and or should have a CS degree or background and all of that. So some companies require it. So if you're not a technical PM, you might want to step back from companies that require technical product managers. In the job description, you see it there, technical product managers, or in the requirements, you see must have a technical background or have a degree in computer science or in any other related kind of field. Then the truth about it is most PMs have it, meaning we have a lot of people who are coming from engineering background who are coming into it. So don't feel betrayed when you get into product management and then you're working with people and then you find about five people around you and they all tell you that they can code. Don't feel betrayed. Most people have it. Like I said, I myself, I I I'm working I'm learning a computer science related course and I'm going to get a CS degree and also I have a technical background, I know how to code. So most people have it and also it is helpful to have it. So my advice for you is that if you don't know how to code or you don't have a CS degree or you don't have a technical background, get into it first of all, get into product management, and then when you get into it, along the way you can pick up coding courses that will just introduce you to the basics and the fundamentals that you need to know. Like I said, as a product manager, you don't necessarily need to know how to code. Not all technical PMs even know how to code, but then you just want to be able to understand technology and the technicalities behind it. You want to be able to understand some tech related terms, some engineering related terms, so that when engineers are talking to you, you don't have to draw them back and all of that. So you can get into product management, and then when you are okay with the normal fundamentals of product management, you want to get a course from like say Free Code Camp or from Udemy or from Coursera, and then just learn the fundamentals about coding, learn about APIs and all this other stuff. So don't let anyone tell you you don't have a CS degree, you cannot work or you cannot get into product management. You can. And then the second one is you are the CEO of the product. I'm sure after now you're going to try to make some research. You're going to try to read up things on product management. One of the things you'll find all around, are people saying you are the CEO of a product. It is true, and at the same time, it is not true because of the authority. And I mentioned that earlier. I mentioned that earlier. As the CEO of a company, you are someone who has authority over the team. You lead the team with authority. You have the power to say, "Hey, you go there," and then the person would go and all of that. You get that kind of authority. But then, as a product manager, with a team, you are leading the team with influence and not authority. So when anyone tells you you are the CEO of the product, filter it properly and understand that you're leading the team without authority. When you are a product manager, you are not the automatic lead or leader of the team unless by circumstance you are made to be the person. So don't get into that God level because you are a PM. No, you're not a CEO. You're just leading the team with influence, with trust, with honesty, with respect. You're making people believe in you, and then with that belief, you're able to lead them. You're able to tell them, guys, let's do this, and then they believe you and say, oh yeah, I trust that guy, so I'm going to follow him. That kind of leadership. Not the kind of leadership that, you just come and say, engineers, I want to get this done, and get that done. And then go, and then people are trying to say, oh, can't we do this way? And then you're like, my word is final. No, no, no. You are not the CEO of any product. You're just there to help the team. So I always like to look at myself as the janitor of the team. And if you carry the janitor mindset, you're not going to be putting up anything of any kind of ego in your mind. I'm the janitor. Get it clear. You're not the CEO of a product. You're not the automatic lead of any team. You're just there to lead the team with influence to the vision, making it a reality. So let's get that clear. And then you might also think, or maybe you have heard that a product manager's job is done after lunch. We spent 3, 4 months and then we are done with building the whole product now, and then we are launching. The PM job is launch to using it. More people are coming into the light of that product. You're going to have some new people who are not, who were not in your initial target audience, who you're not looking at using the product, that are going to start using the product. So you also want to look for a way to cater for them. For example, when WhatsApp was built at the beginning and all of that, so just built, the mindset, let people just chat and communicate and all of that. When phones were made, just, use the phones and all of that. But then over time, some people who were not in the original target audience of the phones of those products came into it, like those people who are disabled, say like blind people. If the PM job is to be done after lunch, then we're not going to have blind people using phones or using tech at all. But then because the PM job is not done, the PM needs to continuously look for new customer segments that can be served. So as a PM, your job continues forever. Your job is never done. Pre-launch, you are during the development stage, you are working. Launch, you are still working, and after launch, you are still working. And then there is a universal definition of the product management role of the product manager's job. Like I mentioned initially when I talked about defining product management is universal. Product management differs based on different organizations, products, people, or the stage of delivery of that product. Meaning, my definition of product management could be different from yours, but then it doesn't mean we're not in line or we're not both correct. In Google, they may define their product management in a certain way. They may say, okay, these are the rules of their product managers and all of that. But then in a startup, it's going to be way different. Google is a big tech enterprise company and all of that. They have the luxury of people who are going to work on the tiniest details and all of that. But then in a startup, you may be the only PM there, handling everything a PM should handle. But then when you work at some other organizations, their definition of product management may be different. So it's about knowing where you are in and then setting yourself up to adjust to that kind of product management. If you go to work at a big tech company, it will be different because of the culture there, because of the kind of industry and all of that. And then if you are working in another kind of company or startup or anything, product management there could be different. So don't think that okay, maybe because you've been used to a particular style of product management and then you get into a new place and it looks like oh I don't know what they're doing here. This is no product management. It is it is still most probably product management, but then it's just different based on some of the factors that are listed out here. And then one other thinking or thought is product managers are the idea generators. This is not correct. Product managers are not always the idea generators. PMs are not the ones who just come up with ideas. No, they are not the only ones. I tell you, some of the best ideas that teams have come up with, not all of them are from product managers. At times, the product manager just guides the engineers, and then they come up with the great ideas, or the designers, or anyone. So don't have that mindset that you are the idea generator, and then you are the one who must always come up with a product idea, or you are the one who must come up with future ideas. And then when anyone is telling you anything because you feel I'm the PM here, then you just want to cancel it out. No, you need to check it, you need to take some time, and then access it whether the idea is actually great. So PMs are not the only ones who can think, so they should not be the only ones who should think. Engineers, they have great ideas. Engage them, talk to them. You see that they have great ideas. Talk to designers. They are really awesome set of people. They have the ideas. So you should engage them. Don't put yourself at that god level of ideas and think that you are the one who has all the ideas. And then finally, product management is the same as project management. No, no, no. No, no, no. Product management is different from project management. One is product, the other is project. So there are two different things. You may be making that mistake now, and like I also made that mistake when I got started initially, thinking product and project are the same thing, but then I was wrong. And then I was able to retrace myself, and then channel my energy into product management. Project management is an adjacent career path in tech, very similar to product, but then there are still a lot of things that differentiate product management from project management. When I eventually share this slide, you have access, and then you'll be able to read up this article that I wrote that differentiates product managers from project managers. What we are talking about here today, to be clear again, is product management. Product management is different from project management. So please get it clear. When anyone looks at you and say, "Hey, PM," okay, you can answer them, listen to them, tell them hi and all of that. But then when you hear them calling you a project manager, please caution them. Many people don't know the difference between the two. It's always good to let people know who you really are. I've gotten some of my friends who have sent me jobs and all of that for project management. I've even gotten a referral for a project management job. I was like, okay, yeah, this is cool. I appreciate the individual anyway, but then project is not what I do, and it's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about product management. So please get it clear. They are different, and then please try to look more into the two to know the differences between the two. And now let's quickly look at the qualities of a product manager. When we call you a product manager, what are some things that we expect? What are some things that we are looking out for from you that would help us say, oh, yeah, that individual is a product manager? We'll just quickly run through it. Number one, you are a good strategist. You're someone who can come up with strategies, who can look through things, who can identify a problem and then come up with beautiful strategies on how to build up a solution around it. You're a ruthless executionist. You're someone who wants to get products out to the market. Like I said, a product manager shouldn't be someone who wants to build forever. You want to take things out as soon as you can, so that people can start using it, and then you can start generating better insights from them that would actually help to make your product better. Then you want to be a clear communicator. A clear communicator, you want to be able to communicate clearly with people. You want to be able to talk to people and pass information that they need, and then they can work with. Remember that this work, in some way, not totally, please get it. In some way, you are kind of helpless. In some way, you're helpless. Why? Because the designers are the ones making up the designs. Developers are the ones writing all the codes and all of that. The marketers are doing their job, trying to market, and sales and business. Every other person kind of has some clear, defined, cut out actual um responsibility to carry out. But then yours, it's just like coming up with visions, coming up with strategies and all of that. So you want to clearly communicate to people. You don't want to make people come back to you all the time before they can take, a step. You want to give people the information that they need. And then you want to lead through influence. You want to have leadership through influence. You want to lead people not with authority. You want to lead people with respect. People respect you, people trust you, people believe that yeah, you can undo things and then you can get things done. And then a leader, through influence. And then you want to be a data informed decision maker. A data informed decision maker. You don't want to be the kind of person that just has an idea and then boom, want to code it out, or you just get an idea and then boom, you want to call up your designers and say, hey, I just got this idea, I think we should definitely work on it. No, you don't want to be that kind of person. You want to look out for data. You want to, what is the market saying about this particular thing? How many people have been using this particular application? Why should we bring in that feature into our product and all of that? So you want to look at data and then make wise decisions while looking at them. And then a great product builder and a well-informed individual. Well-informed, you want to be well knowledgeable and well-informed about your market, about your space, about your industry. You want to know what's happening. Not that you're working in a fintech, you're working in the fintech industry, building a fintech product, and then you don't know some of the government policies that are in line with fintech and all of that. No, that's not going to help you at all. Or you're working in communications and then you don't know some of the policies that are guiding this industry. That is not going to help you. So you want to be well informed. You want to be knowledgeable about your industry, about your market, about your team, about your business, everything you're working about. You just want to be knowledgeable in it. And then now, for rounding up, let's quickly look at getting started in product management. I want to believe that from when we started to now, I've been able to share insights on what product management is about, and who a product manager is and what the job entails, the kind of qualities that we look for in product managers, the different flavors of product managers. And then now we want to look at how you can actually get started. So if you are thinking, okay, I think I'm really interested in this product thing and then I want to get started, but you don't know how, then now we're getting into it. How do you actually get started in product management? Um, Number one, you want to read a lot. The old product field is about reading. The old product field is about reading. If you can see my screen, you see that many of these things are highlighted. There are links that will take you to pages that provide more insight on these things. There are books that, as a product manager, you must have read them. Books like Inspired, books like Hooked by Niyayal, different books like that that would help to shaping up your product sense and your product vision, and that would help you to grow smarter as a product manager. You want to read a lot. You want to read articles. You want to follow blogs and publications. You just basically want to do a lot of reading. I remember when I started product manager, when I got into product management, initially, I remember then I was just a massive reader. On some days I was reading up to 30 articles in a day. I was reading them and then just jotting down some of the things I learned, and then I was sharing them online. I was reading a lot, and then of course it's something that you should and you must do also if you're going to be that product manager that we can say kudos to. Then you want to take online and certification courses. Reading and taking online courses, you see that they are kind of the same. But then why I put it there that you should take online and other certification courses is that one, okay, I'll explain why I should take online now, and for certification, when we get into some other thing, I'll tell you why. But then why you should take online courses is because many of the online courses that we have, they are kind of structured. They've provided a kind of structure that would help you, while you are learning. When you are reading books and while you are reading articles, you may not really be able to tell, oh, this is for absolute beginners, this is for a beginner, this is for someone who just transitioned, this is for someone who who is just getting into it and all of that. I remember that then when I was reading at that, I know I would just see some things how to be a great product leader. I wasn't there yet, and I'm not there yet. But then I would just read it. Some of them um have benefited me in some way, but then some of them have not. So you want to take online courses for a kind of guided learning so that you can learn well and learn right. You can learn what you need to get started actually. And then while you are learning and all of that, you want to write. The way to check your understanding is by writing. I started a blog then because I got into product management. I've never seen myself, a good writer. But then when I got into product management, just to let myself, really understand it and think deeper about it. I started writing. You should definitely start writing. And let me share something really interesting. I shared it while I was telling my story and how I got into product management. When I decided to start writing and about things that I was learning, I picked Twitter as my tool because I didn't have all the time to sit down with weekly blog posts and all of that. So I was still learning, and then I said, okay, anything I learn, I'll just put it in form of a snippet and then take it up to Twitter. While I was posting it on Twitter and all of that, I got a DM from the founder of Product Ad. Product Ad is a community, and then you should definitely check it out. We kind of coach people who are just getting into product management. And also, you find resources, a lot of them, that would help you to grow. The founder reached out to me one day and was like, he loves the way I'm sharing things about product management and all of that, that he would love to, have me as a coach. And that's how I became a coach on a global platform that is headquartered, in Austin, Texas. So you definitely want to write. Writing helps you to understand it better, and it also helps other people around you to identify that you can do it. Then next, you want to play around products and assess them with the PMI. You want to play around products a lot. You just want to pick up a particular product and then look at it from your product management, kind of perspective, and look at it and say, oh, this feature, how important is this particular feature? Okay, if I was to break down WhatsApp now into features, if I was to build it, how would I prioritize it in the proper manner? What feature on WhatsApp can I call the most important? You want to look at things through the product management perspective. You want to just visit any product and ask yourself, oh, this product, does it really solve any problem? Okay, what problem does it solve? Okay, what are the things about the market? Doing things like that would help you to grow your PM sense, kind of, and then would help you to think better when you're working on different products later. And then you want to talk to other product managers and share thoughts with them. You want to learn from other people. You just want to share what you have learned and also gain from them. And then you want to start up a side project. Product management isn't a kind of field where you learn forever and then you start applying. No, you learn on the go in product management. So you can read, and then it's all looking interesting, and then it looks like you're understanding. And this was a kind of mistake that I made when I started. I took like a month and I was just reading. I was reading, watching a lot of videos and taking courses and all of that. But then, and then it looked all interesting to me. Yeah, product management is definitely interesting. So it's looking very exciting and all of that. But then, um, eventually, when I got started in it, and then I got faced by some problems that I was not able to initially threw me off my balance. Then got up back, and then I was not able to start them time, learning and working at the same time. Then it helped me become better. So you want to win with any organization or something like that, and then you want to follow product people and product leaders. These are people that have great product management skills and all of that. Some of them have been in the industry for 5, 10, 20 years and all of that. So the social media, you don't just want it to be about entertainment and fun. Yeah, that's definitely fine and common. It's your personal life, but then you want to also keep it engaged, and then ensure that you're getting value out of it. On Twitter, 70% of the people that I follow are product leaders, product managers, and all of that. Because it will make your timeline, your news feed a smarter one. Because whenever you go online, you can be sure that you gain one or two insights. Some of the things that I know in product management today are not things that I read from blog posts. Are things that I just saw a tweet and then I was like, oh wow, this is really deep. I should really take this to heart, or I should really learn about this and all of that. So you want to follow product people, you want to follow product leaders, and then you want to join product communities. Very, 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 very important. You need to join product communities so that you can be among like-minded people who share your kind of mind, who share your kind of vision, and then you want to help each other. You want to learn from experienced leaders, and you just want to grow. Being in communities help you to grow a lot. So these are some communities that we can find all around. We have Product School. Product School is one of the largest product management communities, and then they have sessions that go on every day. So as a PM, there's a lot that you can learn. There's a lot that you can totally get from Product School. Product Management HQ, they have uh, weekly and I think monthly newsletters on interesting product facts that they send to you, and then you can always read up on them. Product Coalition is a product management publication posted on Medium, and then they have this very, very great Medium page where you can learn lot of things. And then this is this is She Africa, and then we have Women in Product. So definitely check them out. And then we have Product Tank Nairobi. Product Tank Nairobi is a subdivision of Product Tank, which is a global community of product managers, and then Product Tank is under Mind the Product. So Mind the Product is also one great product management community that is really global. So you want to check all these communities and join them, join their Slack channels, join um their Slack channels and any application. Just join them, chat with people, communicate with people, ask questions, learn a lot of things. There are so many things that you need to learn and know as a product manager. Being in community would help you learn them better. And then we have product management African community. And then for my friends joining from Nigeria, we also have product dive here in Nigeria that you can hook up to. You can join their Slack channel, and then there's a lot of things that you will definitely get from there. And then finally, the last subtopic of the day, getting a job in product management, getting a job in product management. Remember that now you are just transitioning into product management, or you're just thinking of getting into it. So how do we ensure that you are not just working without a pay for so long a time? How do you get an entry level product management job? Remember that now you don't have any solid experience. So how do you still get a job in product management? There are four general ways that you can go through it. So number one is internal transition within a company. If you're working in a company right now, any role at all, provided the company is a product led company, meaning that if you're working in a company that has a product kind of management department, or they have product managers there, you can internally transition into product management in that company. So you can do that by being friends one with the PM there, and then just asking them, oh, can I help you out with that? And then you remember that you are learning on your own, and then some of the things you're learning, you're also showcasing it to the PMD, and then when you feel you're ready enough, then you kind of make that transition. You If you have been working with someone and then the person has seen that you're ready for it, the person can collide champion the transitioning for you, and also speaking for you to transition from whatever role, say development or design or marketing or sales, whatever role, into the product management role. Then two is getting an internship or a an associate product manager role, or you take up the role of a junior product manager in a company. So internships, we know, for people to just kind of learn new things. So for internships, they are expecting that you are relatively new to it. Although before getting an internship, you must be able to showcase something that you know that lets them know that you're kind of ready for the internship. And that's why, if you remember, when we talked about how to get started in product management, I mentioned startup a side project. So you want to start up something. If you have friends around you who are developers or who are designers, you just want to call them together. That was the way I started. Um, I was basically using my friends to practicalize some of the things that I learned. Whenever they came to me with any idea, and then I take some time to validate and then to research the market and all of that. So you want to get an internship or an APM role or a junior product manager role in a company. And then number three, you want to join a startup. For the two that I mentioned above, they are more like established companies, but then startups usually are not so established and all of that. And then they're usually in need of product managers who are willing to work and all of that. So you could connect with a founder and then join a startup. The first Okay, the second place that I kind of worked as a PM was at a startup. I was talking to a friend one of the night, and then just told me he's working on a product, and I said, "Oh wow, let me hear about it and let me help you validate it." And then he told me about it. I validated it, and then we talked really deep into the night. And after the whole validation, I felt comfortable and kind of confident that it was on the right path and all of that. And then some days later, he invited me to join the startup as the first PM of that product. So you could join a startup, and then number four, start your own company. Start your own company. So this is actually how I got started in product management. I I am the first PM in a startup I co-founded about 2 years ago, and that was how I got started in product management. I'd been a developer in that startup, but then I went around and then I got into product management in my own startup. So these are ways that you can get a job in product management. But then you should know that for now, your goal shouldn't be trying to get a job. Your goal should be learning and learning deeply. You need to be ready for whatever you're going to meet, on the battlefield, that I'll call it, of product management. So you want to take good time to learn whatever you are learning. You want to be really grounded in your field before you get into product management. And then as we round up and as I conclude, um, one key thing that I have to say is the key to successful product management is just in time learning. You need to be able to learn fast. Like I said, you cannot learn about product management for a long time before you start applying it. You are learning and at the same time you are applying. You are learning at the same time you are applying. So you may get to some stages where it looks like what you want to do there, something that you don't have an idea of or something like that. The key to being a great product manager or being a successful product manager is in learning really fast. And then the second thing that I need to tell you, I'll be very frank with you. Product management is super challenging. Product management can be very, very challenging because of the whole technicality of it. Remember, I mentioned so many hats that you need to wear as a product manager. You need to be the journalist, you need to be the coach, you need to be the leader, and all of that. But then, while it is challenging, or it can be challenging, product management is something that is totally doable. Others have done it. It's something that you absolutely and definitely can do. So, if you're looking at getting into product management, I'm here to tell you that it's something you can do. It's something, yeah, it's something that you can do. So I believe in you. You can do it, and I now I'll be waiting to hear testimonies and to hear people sharing in some months' time or in some years' time that they attended this transitioning into product management webinar, and then and they are now into product management. And then I think we should be able to take questions here. I think you can just type the questions in the chat section. But if you're not able to do that now, you can send me a mail ayfoluti@gmail.com. You can send me a mail. I'll definitely reply you, or you can send me a message on Twitter at ayfoluti and then I mentioned that we're making the that I'll be making the slide available so that you can always go over it. I made the slide really explanatory so that you can always go over it. There are so many links that will take you to interesting materials and all of that. So I made it in such a way that you can always get the slide and go over it. So yeah, I think this is the end of the slide. So you can get it at bit.ly/ayflut hyphen tpm. So thank you very much for your attention, everyone. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Pelusa. I can imagine you're really tired. That was quite an insightful session. A lot of content you shared. I was even like, are you not getting tired? But I really, I really appreciate that you took time to explain everything. And yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be thinking about my next steps if I really want to do products management because it's something I was thinking about. At some point, I felt like maybe that they're the same, but I learned to that they're different. Products management and projects management. So yeah, yeah. So thank you so much. I've not seen any questions, and time has really gone. So what we'll do is like you said, you're gonna make the slides public. So we'll communicate and then we'll share them on our She Code Africa platform so that people can access, and then this will make this recording available on YouTube so that people that were not able to watch because it's a bit late here. It's a bit late here. So those who are not able to make it, that they can be able to watch later. So that I can learn a lot. So yeah, everything is going to be fine. Thank you. Thank you
Um,
so much. Do you
yeah,
have any
yes,
comments?
thank you very much. No, I don't have any comment. Thank you very much for inviting me over.
Yeah, thank you so much. This was very informative. We're gonna do our best and share this. I feel like you mentioned the slides were really explanatory and you had links to different places. So someone can just take their time and go through them individually and learn a lot from them. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much.
Karina, I'll go and eat.
Yeah, yes, you can.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem. So thank you. Bye.